Greetings, everyone. Um, I'm gonna I'm gonna say this. I'm changing the name of my channel. It used to be just Reynoso, which is my last name, which for skateboarding is kind of like what my friends know me as. I was always just called by Reynoso, and that stuck. But I'm gonna change it now to Absolute Zero, which is my Instagram handle or account or whatever. But I don't do Instagram much anymore. I'm just strictly doing this. So if you're somebody who has followed me for a little bit, that's just the reasoning behind that. But anyway, today's video is going to be a second game escape between my goofy stance / normal stance or whatever versus my switch stance. This is game 2, and today I got some new shoes and I got a new board, which I don't know why I'm not holding it, but new board, new board and grip. So let's see how it goes today, and hopefully Switch does better than the first game. Let's go. My goofy stance won last time, so I'll start it off with my goofy stance.
Alright, so starting off, it's a nice little kickflip. The goofy stance there. And then I'm gonna follow it up with the switch flip,
Counts.
which I accepted, of course, because it was on defense. So this session went slightly, I would say somewhat better than the last game, or the first game of Skate. And certain tricks were out of whack, of course, kind of like the first game, but different tricks were out of whack for different reasons. So, for example, the switch heel right there, like that had great form, right? It had a nice pop, nice little tweak. I just didn't land it because with the new shoes and deck, there was more grip than I was expecting. So I wasn't used to that for some reason on my older board. I don't know if it was just wore out because it's the same grip tape on the older board. But it kind of wore out, I guess. It wasn't as grippy. So there we go, get nice picky flip. That would mean switch has an S. And this nollie flip was pretty good. I thought during the moment it wasn't as good because I landed kind of almost in a nose manual kind of situation with front truck, but it turned out to be pretty good when I replayed it. And I go down on the fakie heel. That I was not expecting. Again, more grip, so I probably wasn't flicking as much as I should have. So that was probably why that happened. And then this nollie heel is just goes completely out of control. That was shocking for sure.
Oh my god, that switch heel and nollie heel is definitely out of whack.
Yep. Yeah, buddy, I get it. Now it's time for the fakie heel again. And nice, not too bad on the fakie heel right there. And of course, nollie heel's turn to defend and doesn't do it. Yep, shaking my head. Because nollie heels and switch heels, well, I've never really had them thoroughly consistent. They've always been a trick that I was able to do at least 40% of the time. Not very good odds, I know. I'm trying to think of what trick to do next. And I go with the fakie backside flip right there. And surprisingly, actually, the nollie frontside flip, as you're about to see, was good on defense. Which, I mean, it's not really that hard of a trick. Honestly, it kind of just works, but sometimes the flick can be a little off. So I was surprised I actually managed to pull that at that moment. So still S to nothing. And then right here, I'm debating again what I'm going to do. Oh, yeah, I had to go to the other side. Missed the backside flip right there. Yeah, I kind of had a little difficulty picking sides to set the next trick, because in my brain, I'm telling myself after a fakie backside flip, because I was already on that side, I wanted to essentially go for the backside flip, but I was on the wrong side after the fakey backside flip, I think. Or, yeah, the nollie frontside flip defended. So I ended up on the other side. So I probably should have gone for another trick, but in my head, I have a pattern where I want to just go fakey backside flip, then backside flip. But I guess I should learn to break that pattern.
Wow.
So right here was kind of odd. I wasn't really expecting to struggle with the regular backs or the normal backside flip as much as I did. But again, when there's a new setup in the mix, sometimes that tends to happen. Having a new setup can help, but it can also hurt because it needs to be worn in, essentially, as most people should probably know. Or if you're new, you wouldn't know that. But yeah, getting a new setup you can kind of expect this kind of shenanigans to occur. And I'm still struggling right here, so bear with me as I carry on. And there's the switch backside flip, which I took, of course, because I realized I was struggling with both of them, and I was trying to keep the game going, trying to make it quick. Essentially, these games shouldn't really be that long, but I guess when the both stances are actually kind of I'm being consistent with both stances, the games will be generally long. So there's not really much I can do about that. Defended with the regular backside flip, and switch has the offensive, so that was a switch varial heel. A little sketchy, but it's okay. Rode away smooth enough. And then this varial heel right here went awry. Had a nice pop, nice style. Too bad didn't land it, which is pretty much part of the course for me. Varial heels always tend to betray me for some reason. I can always pull off laser flips, but the varial heels for some reason just have to be off somewhat. So that's S for goofy stance. There's a nollie varial heel right there, which I'm going to redo because my heel tapped. So I believe that's S to S currently. And then for some reason, I messed the nollie varial heel, which for me is a pretty easy trick. So the fact that I missed the nollie varial heel is pretty shocking. And then this fakey varial heel right here. Oh, this is gonna be a fun one. Boom. Sit down. That's what happens. I gotta say though, I'm actually enjoying the setup. It was really nice. I'm getting some nice poppage on my tricks, and they're looking good. So glad about that. So hopefully soon, I can start to do really good tricks right. All my tricks will probably start looking the way I want them to. Hopefully, that's the idea of getting a new board. Thought it was kind of time for that. Missed the fakey varial heel again. So I'm trying to set the varial heel for both stances, and I'm struggling a bit. I also didn't want to kind of make cuts or whatever to kind of, shorten the length of the video, because I kind of want these to be raw. And I apologize if you can hear my sickness. Got a little bit of sniffles. And there's a fakey varial heel, nice pop and everything. But unfortunately, I under-rotated it, which is no bueno on offense. You want to be straight as an arrow. And again, struggling with the fakey varial heel and the nollie varial heel. Don't really understand why I couldn't just adjust very quickly. So I think that's what that was right there. I adjusted a little bit. I decided to just kind of go with a more low pop nollie varial heel there. And with the fakey varial heel, again, it was under rotated, but this time it was on defense. So, of course, I let it slide. And then what's going to occur next? What trick did I go for next, I wonder? I'm most likely thinking about which trick to go for next. There we go. Nollie 3 flip. Yep. That one has some really nice pop. Because the problem with Nollie 3 flips in general is even when anyone can generally do them, they're very hard to get nice pop on. Unlike a fakey 360 flip, which can be easy to pop. And as you can see right there, had a nice little flare, I guess, but not as much pop. So that's something I want to work on with that trick. And as you're going to see right here, I go for the fakey 3 flip, generally a little bit more pop on the fakey 3 flip, and I missed it, which is kind of 50-50, honestly. That trick tends to betray me, kind of like the varial heel does. So that was K for Goofy, or yeah, K for Goofy, and Switch is kind of doing wonders. Switch 360 flip right there, which wasn't too bad. Had the nice little front foot catch, and then this one had more pop, but I don't think I was satisfied with the catch necessarily. That was kind of like a 2-foot catch, whereas I really enjoy the front foot catch 3 flips. Kind of like this one. This regular 3 flip or goofy footed 3 flip. Oh, that's how I like my 3 flips right there. That's how I would want my Switch 3 flips to look, but it's very difficult. Switch 3 flips are very hard to control. I've been battling that for years. Then I wanted to go for a switch front heel, which I thought would have just worked because that's a pretty simple trick in my eyes. And it didn't work. As a matter of fact, I had to stop doing them because for some reason when I was flicking, I would keep hitting my ankle, which is not good. So I don't know if it's the pants that I was wearing, because they had a little ball, this plastic ball thing right there. So I'm holding my ankle. Yeah, not good. So after that, I decided I'm definitely not going to go for these front heels. And I'm not even going to attempt at fakey or nollie to see if those were going to work, because the pain was real. Not worth it. So I switched the trick, going for the front side flip. Missed it there. And now I'm going to go for the switch front side flip, which was worse, apparently. That generally surprised me. And then go with the front side flip. Missed it again. Certain tricks today were just not working. Front side flip's usually a pretty consistent trick for me. Even switch front side flip sometimes tends to be on the same level, but I just couldn't get the right flick. Now I'm going to go back there, and I'm going to go back for the front side flip, and boom, there it is. That one actually had a pretty crazy catch, kind of like I caught it under rotated, but still managed to save it at the last second. And then this was a bad switch front side flip attempt. So that should be K for switch. No, A. I said it was A. Which other switch trick did I mess up? It was nollie heel, switch front side flip. What else? Fakey front side flip. No good. Well, I really hope I didn't mix up my letters already, which would kind of suck because, as I'm about to mention later, something happened and I had no control over it. That nollie black side flip would have been very good. But I guess I'll mention it briefly. Yeah, the game Escape is going to have no ending, essentially, because for some reason the phone stopped recording on of its own volition. Going for that was the fakey front side flip there. A little sketchy, but I kept it going to keep the game as short as possible. And then nollie backside flip would have been good on D if I had landed that. But anyway, yeah, the game Escape has no ending because the camera stopped recording, and so the last tricks were hard flip and switch hard flip, where I land the goofy stance to hard flip, and then switch had to defend, and I wasn't able to do so. So I'll just say this now because I'm kind of 6 minutes away from the ending anyway. The game's just going to end abruptly. And of course, as I'm realizing now, I probably went ahead a letter because I said in the video I did the little A emote with my hand there, or gesture or whatever, and I think I was wrong. And at this point in the game, I was just thinking to myself to just kind of go for it because the game I felt was kind of long just because of how long it was taking me to land certain tricks like the varial heels and the frontside flips. So I wanted to try to go for stuff that I think would have worked and kind of just ended the game. And no struggle. Oh, I was on the struggle bus right there. I got hurt again, my ankle. So I'm trying to think right here in the game of where their letters would lie. Because I missed an ollie backside flip, so that would technically be A. And I'm going for big spin heel flips. That one was nollie right there. And now I'm going for the fakey big spin heel flip. Which right there, I guess I just didn't put enough pop on it and flick to get a proper rotation and all of that. And I'm going for a nollie, which didn't work. So then I'm gonna go back to the fakey big spin heel flip. And this is the one I land, I think. Didn't take very long to land, but it did take a few tries. See, this is the problem when I'm set in my ways, when I'm set in a certain pattern. I think the videos will generally get a lot faster as the games go on. There we go, fakey big spin heel flip. Is nollie going to defend? Kinda, but that was so bad that I didn't even take it on defense, and of course it hurt. So gotta go back around so I can set up properly for the angle. So here we go. I go. Oh. So I think I actually took the nollie big spin heel actually on defense. That's interesting. I didn't remember doing that. But I guess, you know, if you watch Battle at the Barracks, then you've seen some very questionable defensive maneuvers being accepted, and this is no different. If the pros can get it past, why can't they, right? There was a switch big spin heel flip attempt right there. Now I'm going for the big spin heel flip again, which is questionable, but at this point, I kept it moving for the sake of trying to shorten the game. And boom, switch big spin heel flip, good on defense right there. This game, like I said at the beginning, I think was a far better game than the first game. Switch kind of held its own. The letters were kind of close. It was a more competitive game. And here we go. We're getting into the hard flip portion of it, which means pretty soon we're going to reach the end. Unfortunately, camera decided not to get the ending. Pretty sad. And I was actually pretty surprised too, because switch hard flip's one of those tricks where a lot of people have them and have a good flick and rotation on them. I'm not saying that I do, but during the game, I was surprised that it was just kind of going. Sometimes that trick tends to be hit or miss. Some days I have them, some days I just don't. Missed the switch hard flip. And here we go. Regular hard flips. And this is one of those things where it can be a detriment to my consistency, because I'm always going for a certain looking hard flip and a certain way of doing the hard flip. I'm not going to just do a hard flip even though I should. Like that switch hard flip. It's like, I got away. Unfortunate. Story of my life right there. I always tend to land on my tricks, but for some reason, weight distribution is just a little weird. It just takes me off. But as we're approaching the end here, I'm just gonna say it's a bit of an odd video with no finish and some kind of dead time as I struggled with some tricks. But I decided to throw this up anyways, because again, it's a progressive game in comparison to the other one, and I had a new setup and all of that. So with that being said, I decided to post it anyways. And I mean, I'm in the groove anyway, so I'm posting stuff. If you liked it, check out my channel, like and subscribe, guys.